my name is Natalie Stevens, and I did my book report on The Pursuit of Happiness by David Myers. I'll let you see the side of it because the front has a little reserved sign. This was a phenomenal book. I gained a lot of insights from it. It had a good variety of topics that I think anyone reading could relate to. I know I definitely could. The main thesis of this book was that true joy is only found in Christ, and I think a lot of Americans kind of confuse joy and happiness together. Like, we tend to put it together instead of separating them, whereas most people find happiness to be in earthly pleasures like marriage, relationships, friendships, money, your house. Like, we idolize those things, and if those things are going well, then that's what we consider to be happiness. But what I really like about this book is that it made it a point to talk about how true joy is way better than earthly happiness, and our true joy can only be found in Christ and nowhere else. Like, everything else is going to fail us, but only Christ will not fail us, and he will remain constant. And so that's like the main summary that I got out of the book. Two insights that I gained from this book that I hope will help me to grow in Christ is, number one, I need to put my identity in Christ and not friendships. I definitely will admit to that I tend to idolize friendships above Christ, and I put a lot of my happiness and a lot of my worth in how my certain friendships are going, and if they're going great, then yay, I'm happy. But if they are like kind of stale or at a standstill, then I become like kind of irritated, I guess. And instead of going to Christ for that, I kind of want to take care of it on my own, which never works out. So the main point is an insight that I learned from this book is that I want to put my worth in Christ, and that way I can have true joy instead of earthly happiness, because that's going to go away, but only Christ is going to remain. And so that's one of the insights I learned. Another insight that I learned is, it says on one of the last pages of this book, it says, well-being is found in the renewal of disciplined lifestyle, committed relationships, and the receiving and giving of acceptance. So I like this book a lot because it gave you like practical ways to, for your well-being, to have not like earthly happiness, but like joy here on earth too, having Christ first. And then it gave you like tips to be to be well-being. Yeah, I guess that's how you put it. So yeah, it talks about like how people are more happy, more well-off when they are in committed relationships, and when they are receiving and giving acceptance. And so I just really like that a lot. It helped me kind of better understand like how I can be better off and have joy. And then it also gave you like a list at the end of the book. It gave you like some of the mistakes people make for having well-being. Like, for example, one of them was that one sex is happier than the other. Like, that's totally false, obviously. Like, you can't just say, oh, women are more happy than men. Another one is that religious faith suppresses happiness. Obviously that's not true either. But then it also like gives you a list of what does enable happiness. And a couple examples of that is optimism, outgoingness, having true joy in Christ will help you to also portray that joy out into the world and to others, and that'll make you joyful too. So yeah, those are a couple insights that I learned. I really liked this book a lot, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who's looking to read it. Bye.